Jangan komentar sebelum tonton video ini sampai habis ya.
Komunitas Muslim dan Yahudi Amerika Serikat pendukung hak-hak rakyat Palestina bersatu menolak kebijakan Presiden Trump tentang Yerusalem.
Kebijakan ini dinilai merugikan rakyat Palestina.
Today, Jerusalem is the seat.
Segera setelah Presiden Donald Trump mengumumkan pengakuan Amerika Serikat terhadap Yerusalem sebagai ibu kota Israel, organisasi Muslim di sejumlah wilayah Amerika menyatakan penolakannya, termasuk di ibu kota. Penolakan ini didukung oleh kelompok agama lain.
Mr. Trump's simplistic approach to the complexities of the region make a mockery of the hardships of the people there, whether Israelis or Palestinians, whether Christians or Jews or Muslims have suffered over the years.
Pernyataan bersama di Gedung Putih ini diikuti dengan demo dari aktivis perdamaian.
Warfare, bloodshed, mistrust, animosity, on in the Holy Land because a flawed political movement decided to set up their regime in this Holy Land. It's incomprehensible and unacceptable.
Selain dinilai tidak sensitif terhadap warga Muslim dunia, kebijakan Presiden Donald Trump ini diperkirakan akan mendorong meningkatnya perlawanan dari kelompok radikal. Reaksi keras pun sudah terlihat di Gaza, tepi barat, dan wilayah lain.
I think that the response from the public will be very strong. My worry is that many more Palestinian lives, unfortunately, will be lost in this process as the United States makes a very irrational and reckless decision.
Dari Washington DC, Yuni Salim dan tim VOA.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
No. President Trump has the right to make whatever foreign policy he wants, and if he feels that Miami Beach is best to recognize as the capital of Israel, that's his business, he can do it. But once he starts talking about the Jewish people, now he's encroaching upon religion, and now that's my domain. There is absolutely no political relationship between the Jewish people and Jerusalem. It's merely a holy city. The Jewish people don't have a capital. We never had a capital. Countries have capitals. States have capitals. That's the definition of a capital. Capital, dictionary, noun, the most important city or town of a country or region. Now, the Jewish people are not a country or region. The Jewish people are a religious community. We pray towards Jerusalem, but we relate to Jerusalem only as a holy city. And because it's a holy city, it doesn't matter who has sovereignty over it. Jerusalem is just as holy and just as much Jerusalem, whether it's under the auspices of the Turks, or the Romans, or the British, or whoever. It's important to know that the Zionists were the ones that started this business of the capital of the Jewish people, and it's an idea that conflicts directly with the teachings of Judaism. A couple of years ago, the Pope went to visit Netanyahu, and Netanyahu's bragging to the Pope, this is where Jesus lived in this land, and he spoke Hebrew here. So the Pope corrected him. The Pope said, no, Aramaic. And Pope was right. Netanyahu says, yeah, but he understood Hebrew. Israel has nothing to do with the old Jewish Commonwealth. It's a country that was created in 1948. When you hear the Israelis or the Zionists talk about how Jerusalem has a connection with the Jewish people for 2,000 years, 3,000 years, 4,000 years, it's all true. But that doesn't translate to, well, therefore Jerusalem has to be part of Israel. People think that Israel is some kind of continuation of the Jewish government, but it's not. It's a completely different form of government, completely different values, completely different ideology, and completely different people. These are not religious Jews that are running the country. These are atheists. And yet, the Israeli prime ministers from Ben-Gurion all the way up to Netanyahu use the Bible as an excuse for ownership of the land. Ben-Gurion, this is a man that didn't believe the Bible was given by God. He didn't believe God ever spoke to prophets. He didn't believe it at all. Neither does Benjamin Netanyahu. It says in the Bible, watch the Sabbath to keep it holy. Netanyahu doesn't refrain from work on the Sabbath. It says not to eat non-kosher food in the Bible. Does Netanyahu do that? No. There is nothing holy in the Bible that Netanyahu cares about. The only thing he cares about is his land.
Judaism is a religion, a spirituality to serve God thousands of years old. Zionism is only around 100 years old. It is the transformation from religion to nationalism, to materialism, created by non-religious Jews who hated the religion. And they really didn't want Judaism. They didn't even want to make their state in Palestine, only in Uganda at the first meetings. The reason they used the name Israel, the Star of David, hijacking, stealing the identity of Judaism and the Jewish people is in order to get a legitimacy for their existence, that people should say, oh, it's God given to them, and that they should put fear and intimidate people from speaking up against their actions because they'll call them anti-Semitic. It couldn't be anything further from the truth. As I say, the best friends of the Jewish people is Turkey. The best friends of the Jewish people is all the Muslim countries who helped the Jews all the time when they ran away from their problems in other lands. So how can you say this? It's something totally different. It's a political, selfish, flawed movement called Zionism that has no legitimacy to exist. It's against the Torah. Maybe just say one thing. It's against the Torah in its essence. The concept for Jews to have a state is expressly forbidden in the Torah, in the Jewish teaching, since the destruction of the temple 2,000 years ago. We were told by the Almighty in a prophecy of King Solomon, and that we are forbidden to have our own entity, our own state, our own kingdom, even in an uninhabited land. And this was held by all Jews around the world for thousands of years, and it makes it worse, compounds the sin, the crime in having the state, because this state of Israel that these nationalists made it in Palestine, made it in a land that was inhabited by the majority Muslim people, by the Palestinian people. So to steal their land, to kill, to oppress, to banish them from the homes, it flies in the face and contradicts everything of the Torah that says thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, that one has to emulate God, be compassionate. So they've used our identity to rebel against God and to desecrate God's name and to create a rift between Jews and Muslims, and to make a river, an endless river of blood for Muslims, for the Palestinian people, and anti-Semitism for the Jews, and death for the Jews also. This is unfathomable and unacceptable in no manner.
Christians believe in the Trinity, and there's and the man is part of God, and so on. So that is totally against the Muslim religion, because they believe in one God, because they believe in the Torah is one God. As the Arabs, we believe in the same God, in one God. So it's a paradox. See, the Christians believe in the Trinity, whatever that's supposed to mean, but it's a part of it is their God, who's the JC we call him, but that's not our belief at all. We're not allowed to believe in anything like that, and we're in better terms with the Christians generally than with the Arabs, generally speaking. But we have in common, we believe in the same God. Right? As a matter of fact, I was speaking once to Rabbi Moshe Feinstein, the greatest rabbi of our generation. He said, Allah, that's the Arabs' God, the same God that we have. He wasn't afraid to talk about it. They have the same God.
Terima kasih ya yang sudah tonton video ini sampai habis. Jangan lupa untuk share video ini jika merasa video ini bermanfaat. Cek dan share juga video-video kami yang lainnya ya.